The Fox 5 I-Team first reported that a controversial waste-to-fuel project in Lamar County has come under FBI scrutiny.
But this month, the county Solid Waste Authority took out a full-page ad in the local paper, casting doubt on that report, saying they don't know anything about any federal investigation. I-Team reporter Johnny Edwards broke the story on the FBI and had a lot of questions. Johnny?
That's right, Russ. That newspaper ad led us back to Lamar County this week, where we learned a few things. One, after more than $22 million spent, 6 years of delays, and accusations of mismanagement and conflicts of interest, some machines are finally operating inside the recycling center. We also learned the Solid Waste Authority says it's not under federal investigation, so we checked with the FBI again.
I hope it will be a benefit to the whole community.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself.
The war of words in Lamar County wages on. On one side, taxpayers furious about a huge state loan for a landfill recycling center that remains stalled after a decade.
We've yet to see any evidence that they're going to have it running at all.
On the other, county and landfill leaders who say the rancor is making the county look bad.
Please think about how we are representing our community. FBI is involved, and bottom line, I'm quite sure that those guys do a phenomenal job.
The battle often spills into the local newspaper. This month, the Lamar County Regional Solid Waste Management Authority took out a full-page ad in the Barnesville Herald-Gazette that said something major. Those reports about an ongoing FBI investigation? Just rumors, with no basis in fact, says the Solid Waste Authority, saying in the paid ad, the authority simply has not been contacted or served with a subpoena or other request for documents or information from the FBI, the U.S. Department of Justice, or any other law enforcement body, period. The authority does not know who or what is being investigated by the federal authorities. But it is not the authority.
I find a question mark on that, truthfully.
An attorney and former FBI supervisor over corruption cases said, just because no one at the authority has heard from the feds doesn't mean they aren't being looked at.
No, Johnny, in fact, it's typical when an investigation gets started. There's a lot of groundwork that the FBI agents had to do. These are paper-intensive cases.
And a lot of paper. In 2014, the Lamar County Regional Solid Waste Management Authority took out a $27.5 million state loan to build a waste-to-fuel project. The plan was to turn a profit by converting garbage into fuel and a byproduct that could be used in plastics. The Fox 5 I-Team reported some of the loan money flowed to the man who promoted the project, Solid Waste Authority Executive Director Johnny Poor, and people connected to him. We also confirmed the FBI's Macon office is on the case.
I don't have any confirmation, so I don't have any further comment.
According to the newspaper, that March 5th ad cost the authority about $575. FBI spokesman Tony Thomas telling the I-Team, we stand by our original statement.
What would you think might be under investigation here?
I think it's, where did the funds go? Is this just incompetence? And it can be both. You can have incompetence and fraud, but something's amiss here, not necessarily fraud.
Some good news from the ad? The authority is pleased to announce that with its recent permit from the Georgia EPD in hand, the authority has begun operation of its leachate evaporation system. This means that machines inside the waste-to-fuel project aren't all sitting idle anymore.
There's two evaporators here. The leachate will go into those white tanks right there.
The plan to process rainwater runoff is supposed to free up landfill space and help make the loan payments. We wanted to see those machines in action, but were denied access by the authority's attorney. No luck at the front door either. While we couldn't confirm on our own that the leachate evaporators are actually running, one resident who lives nearby said he's been seeing this steam for several weeks. Is that a good thing?
It's a good thing, but I still have a lot of question marks on the operation itself.
One member of the Concerned Citizens Group, Mike Perry, has already written a rebuttal to the ad, pointing out in a letter to the editor that a Superior Court judge confirmed there's a federal investigation during a hearing last month. We tried to talk to Johnny Poor and the authority's board chairwoman, Nancy Thrash, but got no response. Corps previously told the I-Team he expects to have the entire project running by summer.
Well, hard to know which side is telling the truth here. I mean, but is it possible that both things could be true? Could there be a federal investigation going on, but not of the Solid Waste Authority?
Not likely. The FBI did confirm that the investigation does involve the waste to fuel project, and that is a creature of the authority is behind that. So I don't see how it could not involve the authority in some way or another.
Okay, so the ad said it was rumors, but not so.
I don't consider it rumors.
All right, there you go.
Johnny, thanks.
Not what we peddle in over here. Johnny, thanks.
Thank you.